can a film composer decide one day to direct a feature?
Oh, actually, it was in my mind since a long time ago, because I did, in the 80s I was an actor, I was a musician in a band, I was on a French TV, and so I knew what to do several activities, artistic activities, you know. But since 20 years I was focused only on film score, and actually I wasn't ready to do what I did, you know. It just came a little bit out of the scratch. Like suddenly I wrote a story and someone said, but why don't you direct it? And I say, no, it's not a good idea. And finally after a week I came back and I say, okay, I'm going to do it. So I still don't know if it was my best idea of my biggest mistake, but
no, let's remind everyone that you did, you know, a short film just before this. Actually, Chadwick was in.
Chad is in there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Application Cafe. So that short film actually helped you to prepare this feature film. You know, I mean, this is obviously, you know.
Yeah, as soon as I finished the short film, I say we need to keep the energy going. So let's do. I had this story since a long time, 2 years before actually. I have a lot of notes about this story. So I put together a script very quickly, and I mean it's never quick, but it took a year for writing. But then I took all the crew and some cast that I say, okay, let's do this movie as we can do a short film, and then it ended up being a much bigger film than a short film.
Now, why this story? I mean, it's funny, you know, how a French guy is actually interested in this Native American, you know, issue.
No, there is two levels in the answer. The first level is, as a composer, I always work on movies about minorities. True. So in India, in Israel, in Africa.
Syrian Bride, I mean, got a prize for a Syrian Bride. So it's something which is part of my life anyway, you know, and some political movies too. And the second part of the answer is that people has to know here that when people of my generation, as kids at school, they used to play Indian and cowboys. So and most of the European people feel close to the Native American, and so that's a reality. When you're a kid, you grow up with these ideas of Native American. And also there is a historical link between the French and natives, because the first people who came to Quebec was French. So and they spent 2 centuries together. That's why there's a lot of Native American have a French name today. So there is connection, but I think there is also connection with the heart that people in Europe feel this. And I feel this. I think it's. I was very touched by the story when I heard it, you know, and also I thought everybody was solved after the 70s in America, that or let's say not in the world, but with a civil act, with Vietnam, and I thought, okay, after 70s there was no more problem with any minority. So I just. Realized that until 74, 75, there was still a lot of issue with the Native Americans, and so I came into this world, and I was very touched by this world. I remember, you know, when we were on the set, Pitof told me something that was very interesting. He said, you know, I love the fact that how Cyril approached this, what we call in French, a huis clos. You remember Pitof, you know, this confined space and everything. So what are your influences when you did this film?
Oh, first of all, I wrote this way because of the budget, and, you know, so I have to be smart.
At least he's honest, you know.
And so that's one point. And but the second point, I love Sidney Lumet. Okay. And I love 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, there we go.
And I still, now for my next project, it still happen. It's a French project. It still happen on 20 hours in the same place. It's a restaurant and a plaza, and that's all. So I still like the small, stories who happen in one space, and I like this. And because I think there is something like with literature and play, like Shakespeare, you know, and you can tell a story with very little, by the way, you know, and So I don't know, my new film, which I'm finishing now, it's with 12 or 15, 16 locations, so it's a big step, you know.
You know, musicality, I mean, you're a film composer, and I'm thinking, when you direct, and I've seen you actually, you know, behind the scenes, do you think music, I mean, how does it work exactly? I mean, do you have like some kind of a musicality when you direct your actors?
No, the thing is, the actor here must know, and maybe Chad must know, with a rehearsal, I'm very precise about the how high is the voice, because it is linked to the character. How the tune of the voice, if it has to be low or higher or lower, you know. So I think with Chad we worked a lot on this. We work on many details, you know, and the music. Sometimes what I discover that finishing, not say cut too early, because at this moment when you finish the scene and you wait for the cut, and then you have a lot of things happening in the brain that you see on the screen. So sometimes here I know I can start the music there. That's all I have with the music, the connection with the music. But of course the sound, I'm very, very sensitive with this. You know.
And talking still about music, I mean, when did you start to write the music for this film?
I wrote the music before. I wrote the music, so I record the voice of Michael Spears, which is amazing, here on the first demo. Then after the shooting, I thought it wasn't good, so I rewrite the music a second time. Then I thought it was a little bit too soft for the story, but I still keep the same tonality, so I could keep the voice of Michael. And I did everything a third time. When at the end of the editing, I say, okay, I need to find the right level, and I had in mind the music of the assassination of Jesse James. You know, I love this soundtrack. And I didn't want to do exactly the same, but that was the mood, you know.
You know, it's funny because this is a 100% indie movie. When I say 100% indie movie, not only
200%.
200%. Yeah, there we go. 100% is like personal, very personal movie, and 100% is like, you know, budget-wise. And I have to mention this. You know, I mean, this is your own money, Cyril.
Yeah, but because I'm a crazy guy.
Yeah, there we go. But I mean, here's the thing. You know, I mean, probably, you know, in this audience, you know, there are people who are saying, you know, I want to do my feature film as well. I mean, this is a perfect example of how to take your money and put it, you know, in the right position or in the right place. And I'm not going to talk about the amount because, you know, obviously it's rude. But no, it's true. But putting your own money in this, that means that from the beginning you wanted to do your very own personal story, right?
No, the idea is to be very independent, because you know, when you start to do a movie when you are close to 50, nobody will help you. You know, there is no reason. So I just thought it was the best way to do it by myself, because when as a music producer since 20 years, that's what I do. So I say there is no reason to change. And actually, all the music promotion that I learned over the years helped me a lot for this movie.
So basically, what you're saying is like you even strategize also the marketing and the distribution and everything.
No, I have a team. I have a team and a great team working with me. But the thing I can say, I think I'm very not the first one to do that. But I think in the future there will be more and more movies like this, because the world is changing and the film world is changing. And I want to speak about the letters that Martin Scorsese did to send to his daughter. When he speaks about this, and I think he's totally right. That's where we're going to go, and what I'm doing tonight and what we are doing tonight is going to be much more often in the future. You will have a big Hollywood movie as the captains, and you will have a lot of personal movies here, and it's going to be a different way to do cinema, I would say. You know, because I'm concerned about, when I'm doing this, I'm very concerned about doing cinema and not just a film. That's why I spend time in the color. I spend time to do a DCP. I spend time to do a 5+1 mixing, which unfortunately you didn't have tonight. But it's important because my dream is about cinema. It's not about anything else. You know.
Here we go. You're French, okay? You could have actually waited like a lot of French filmmakers who wanted to do their first film, waited, you know, for the support of the government, giving you money and do your own film. But no, you decided to expatriate yourself to the United States, do an American film, and do it here about an American subject.
No, but I have the answer. I have the answer, and it's very simple. The answer is because I would never do this in my own country. You know, because there is much more rules, and the good thing of California, I would say Los Angeles, is that you can move to something else, and it's not a problem. When you do this in Europe, in the beginning, it's a problem. But now that I did this, and that people saw it in France, I have a great welcoming in France. So most of the producers I couldn't catch as a composer, I have lunch with them. So that's pretty cool.
All right, talking. I know it sounds cliché, but still land of opportunities, right?
No, it is, but I have to say France is a great country for cinema. There are cinema lovers everywhere in the street. There is line everywhere when there is a cinema in Paris. I would say here, except a place like this, but you have a lot of people who are like almost eating cinema like they eat food. In Paris, there is really, really lovers, really cinema lovers, and that's very touching actually.
All right, you're still composing, of course. You know, I mean, you're doing the next film. I mean, you haven't stopped anyway composing for film.
No, I have a French TV in a few days. I have a Richelieu. I did the period music for a period movie. I have Indian movies that which documentary will be released here by Kino Lorber called Faith Connection, and I just finished independent small film with it's all friends. What can I say? I can't say no to my friends. So
yeah, but I mean, there's also international films as well.
Yeah. I did last year. I did Zaytoon with Steven Dorff here. I work with Danny Houston. I work with. I mean, I'm almost done 100 movies as a composer, but
yes, 90 actually.
You feel like I'm starting something else now.
Now I have to give you some kind of insight, because I stay at his place when I go to Paris, and the studio is like downstairs.
It was you.
Yeah, it was me. And the studio is downstairs, and it's amazing because he's in LA. He's actually composing, sending the stuff through project. The technology is amazing today. Sending the stuff to his staff in Paris, who is mixing, preparing the whole thing, doing all that sync, with.
I have a team I'm working with, so when I finish my day here, I send it to Paris. They start a few hours later, and then they send me back whatever I need, the mix, researching some sound, and or cutting a few things for the film. And then I start again the following day. So we work basically 20 hours, 24. I'm doing the same with the script, actually. And it's true that I'm working on a lot of projects together. And so I have, as I say, I have a great team. It's impossible to work like this with not having the right person.
What's the next project? I mean, you're working on a French film, obviously. I mean, can we talk a little bit about Hackers, the next film? It's almost ready. That's why.
I'm finishing a movie called Hackers Game. It's a love story between two hackers with a background of manipulation. It's all about internet, where we're going with internet. It's a reflection about internet, but it's a love story at first. It's very modern. I would say it's 2016, 17. And I use a different technology. I use some different way of lighting some scene. I can't say more, but it's a modern subject.
And the French film, can we?
French film is economical thriller. It's about the economical and social life of workers meeting a big boss and a minister of economy, and then they're going to talk. But actually, they're not going to talk with weapons. Not.
When did you shoot the Application Cafe? That's your first short film. When?
It's 2 years from now, or 2 years and a half.
Sounds like okay, 2 years,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Within 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, short film, a feature film, another feature film that is almost ready, and a film in preparation right now that's going to be shipped in France.
And I did.
What can I say?